Hey, what is up? What is going on, guys? Joe here, Radio 690 ADV. Welcome to the podcast. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Everybody that stopped in on Friday and saw Rant and Ride, I sure do appreciate you. Don't forget, the 27th, July, we got our giveaway. Make sure you go to 690adv.com, sign up, be part of it, get your free decal, and not only that, that puts you in registration so that you can be in our giveaways. Not only on this one, on all of them. Don't forget, hit subscribe, be part of it. iTunes, Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, IHeart Radio. You pick it. We're pretty much on there. Today's podcast, we're going to talk about great, inexpensive dual sport motorcycles that you can locally ride around and commute and trail ride. This is not going to be, now I'm not saying that you cannot go out and adventure ride on these and do small trips or even large trips on them, because guys do it all the time. Remember, it's all in your mindset will dictate what you can or cannot do on any motorcycle. It's the rider, not the bike. Remember that always. Anyway, I'm not going to do these in any specific order. I'm just going to kind of spitball them out and put them out there. And I'm sure I'll miss a few bikes. I might even miss a lot of bikes. But these are the bikes that come to my mind when I'm thinking about motorcycles that aren't going to break the bank, that I can go and pick one up if I want to, and I can ride around town. I can go pick up whatever. I can run to the grocery store, Starbucks, to my buddy's house, whatever. It's not going to kill my bank account, and they are fun and fantastic bikes to get on. You see them all over the place, but they're just really, really, really good bikes. And not only that, they're dual sport. So that means you can get out and you can go hit the trails or your local OHV parks, whatever you want to do. Find a little dirt road, take off, go ride down it, because they're great little trail bikes that will do the business and allow you to have a lot of fun, and something you can't do on a street bike. You can do anything on anything. I've seen Harleys off-road, but I'm just saying, these right here will be a whole lot more fun than taking a street bike and trying to just make it go off-road. This will be a whole lot more fun. And all of these get fantastic, amazing fuel mileage. Just amazing. First on my list, it's just a really, really cool bike. If you've never seen it, go check it out. Yamaha's TW200. That thing is absolutely probably one of the most unique, cool bikes that are out there. It's not too tall. It's not too heavy. It's just got that really cool, unique look. It's got those big fat wheels on it. If you've never seen one, the Yamaha TW200 is just a great looking little bike. You see a lot of them behind RVs and campers and stuff like that when guys travel out west. Because of the big wheel, it makes them a lot easier to ride in sand. So it's really cool. But not only that, they're 100% street legal, and they're super cool, and they're super fun to ride. And they've got a low seat height. They're pretty cheap. If you shop around, you can really find them for just a banging price. They don't have a ton of power. And who are they good for? And they're good for everybody. And they're perfect for new riders. Brand new, they're going to set you back about $4,500. Remember, motorcycles only get so cheap, especially in the dual sport world. But if you shop around, Craigslist, Cycle Trader, all those different, basically, outlets that you can go, even Facebook Marketplace, you can pick them up. I've seen them as low as $1,500. And then I've seen them go as high as around $2,500. It depends on the condition that the bike's in, is going to dictate on how much you're going to pay. But if you're patient and you're willing to take the time, as I always do, research, you can always find a smoking deal. But that Yamaha TW200 is just a great bike. Go research it. Look it up on YouTube. They're really cool, fantastic bikes. You can't go wrong with that. Next on the list, I own one. I've had one. I've got probably almost 2 years with it. And it's just a great bike all the way around. The Honda CRF 250L. Now, it's not that I'm a Honda CRF 250L lover because I own it. I bought it because it was for a specific reason. It's a great bike. It's It is Honda. It is bulletproof. It gets almost 70 miles to the gallon. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light either. It's relatively inexpensive. Not super cheap, but not too expensive. It's got good power, especially if you make modifications and upgrades to it, which you can find those anywhere on the internet and on YouTube. And who's it good for? Everybody. From new riders, seasoned riders, whatever. And it's just a great secondary bike. It would be perfect just to put in your garage, farm, whatever. Brand new, they'll set you back about $5,100 if you go directly to Honda. Sometimes you can find great deals and you can get closeouts from like a previous year's model. But I've seen them as low as $2,000 and as high as $4,000. I picked mine up for $2,200 right here in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Guess what? Completely loaded. It had tons of stuff on it. I didn't have to put a lot on it. The owner that had it loved it, took care of it, put a lot of stuff on it. I picked it up for $2,200. Like I said, research is king. If you're willing to put the time in, you can always get a smoking deal. But the Honda CRF 250L really is a great, great bike. It's got really good power. It's fun to run around town. And the turning radius on it makes it great for trail riding because you can basically cut around trees and you can make fairly sharp turns. And it's a lot of fun. I've seen that bike. A buddy of mine rode it at the rally about 2 months ago that we went to. He took it through stuff that other enduros were not even going through. So remember, it's always in the rider. And that little bike is so much fun. And it'll cruise 65, 70 on the highway. The reason I know that is because that's how fast we were going when we were cruising on the highway. So it will do it. So it's a great bike. You can put rocks on it. You can go to whatever, Starbucks, to the movies, your friend's house, whatever, and it gets great gas mileage. And they're not that expensive. The next bike, I've ridden it, I've done a video on it, and it's great. And I love to call it the little dual sport that can. The Yamaha XT250. It's lightweight. It's under 300 pounds. It's fully street legal. All of these are street legal. It has a super low seat height. It's only like, I want to say 32 inches. It's it's super short. Even your shortest riders can ride it. They're cheap and they're perfect for everybody. And I mean everybody. Seasoned riders, intermediate riders, new riders, you pick it. They're not super cheap. But at the end of the day, if you're willing to shop around, you can pick them up for a good deal. They're about $5,100 brand new. Used, they'll set you back about probably $2,000. Now I've seen them lower than that, but man, I tell you what, if you find one under $2,000, you better get your piggy bank out, get a hammer, smash it, go grab it. And then I've seen them as high as $3,500. But they're great bikes. They got great zippy peppy power. They look kind of cool. They're old school looking, and they'll do the business. And they'll do everything you want. And the turning radius on them is probably the most I've seen on any dual sport ever. It's close to a trials bike. It's crazy. You can almost do a circle within a circle. I mean, it's really, really fantastic. And it's fun to ride. And it's great for, like I said, everybody. So the Yamaha XT250, they're not very expensive. They're great for everybody. And the low seat height is really what makes it super, super cool. And got a buddy of mine that took it cross country. So yes, you can get out and do it. But for local and trail riding, perfect. You cannot go wrong with that bike. 100%. Next bike. I've ridden one. It's not the most power of all the bikes. Believe it or not, I think it's, to me, it almost feels like the least power. Now, I know that they've upgraded it to a fuel injection, and I haven't ridden the new version, but the Kawasaki KLX 250S is a great bike, and I love that digital camo. It's super, super cool. It's semi-lightweight. It's not super heavy, and it looks cool. They're pretty inexpensive. They've got decent power, not great power, but decent power. And you definitely can make mods. I think the biggest thing that I would do on that bike, if I wanted to kind of uncork it a little bit, and if you want to know what uncorking is, if you're a new rider and listening to this, it's basically allowing that engine to breathe. A lot of times they'll cork it up by putting a very, very low restriction for where the engine releases the pressure out of the engine out of the muffler or the exhaust. And you'll look at it, and I mean, literally, you could plug up a KLX 250S with your pinky. It just doesn't allow very, very good airflow. So if you get a new muffler, I think that'd make a huge difference on that bike. But anyway, like I said, they're semi-lightweight. They're pretty cheap, decent in power, and they're good for everybody. You see them around Dallas-Fort Worth all the time. They're great little bikes, and they're bulletproof. All these bikes are bulletproof, 100%. You take care of them, they will last and last and last. They're like the Energizer bunnies. New, they're going to set you back about $5,300. Used, I've seen them as low as a couple of grand, and I've seen them as high as about $4,000. But the nice thing about those bikes, all these bikes have a good tire size. The Yamaha TW200 is the only one that has an odd tire size, but all the other ones are 21-inch front, 18-inch rear. Perfect. Why? Because it makes it good clearance so that it can ride off-road and go and do trail riding, or even just ride off-road. So the KLX 250 for local commuting, perfect. If you want to go to school, like I said, to the grocery store, movies, buddies, whatever you want to do. It really is a cool bike. Now, if you're listening to this on YouTube and you want to put your bikes down in there, put them down in the comments. Tell me the bike that I missed, or tell me the bike that you own, and let other riders know what bike was missed and why you love it and why it's such a good bike. But the KLX KX250S is a great bike, and you can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with any of these. Next bike, Suzuki. And Suzuki doesn't get a ton of love, and it really should, because Suzuki really does make a fantastic motorcycle. And this bike right here is no exception. It does a great job. It's all around for everybody. It's got a decent it's got a low seat height. They're cheap. They're super lightweight, and they look cool. They really look cool, especially the newer models. The Suzuki DR200 is just a fantastic bike. It's for everybody, and I mean everybody. Good turning radius. They're fun to sit on. They look cool. They've got the dirt bike look, And the thing is, they're the cheapest of all of them. They're going to run you brand new next to the TW200, $4,600, and it gets great fuel mileage. I've seen them as low in the older models, $1,000, and I've seen them as high as $3,000. But the Suzuki DR200 is a fantastic motorcycle. It really, really is good. You can't go wrong. And like I said, I am giving you basically motorcycles that are inexpensive used mainly, and they're still relatively, for motorcycles, inexpensive, brand new. They're dual sports, and they're great for local commuting, and you can get out on the trails and go and ride the dirt. So if you want to just do some dirt riding, perfect. But if you just want to zip around town, save on gas money and stuff like that, these things are fantastic. Last but not least, this one's a little more of the advanced side, but I think it works for everybody. The Yamaha WR250R. It's lightweight for what it is. It's sort of cheap. And when I mean sort of cheap, it's the most expensive, okay? It's the most expensive of all of them. But it has great power. And for a 250, it'll flat out and get it and do it. Guys buy them. Guys love them. They're not real easy to find. And they just work perfectly. They're bulletproof. They're fantastic. They are perfect for seasoned riders and all the way down to new riders. They're about $6,600 brand new. Sometimes you can find a dealer closeout and pick them up a little bit cheaper, but they're pretty proud of their price on that one. But if you shop, I've seen them as low as $2,500, and then they're pretty common around $4,000 or $5,000 for a used WR250R. But the Yamaha WR250R in the 250 class, it's probably the best. It'll do everything. It's got plenty of power. It's got the look. It's not short. It is a tall bike, but it will do everything. You see them out west. You see them in the desert. You see them in Colorado. You see lots of guys ride them. They do great on the highway. They do great off-road. They do everything. They really, really are fantastic motorcycles. Guys absolutely love them. If you go on YouTube or even on Google and research any of these motorcycles, the WR250R, you're not gonna probably find one bad write-up about that motorcycle. It is just a fantastic motorcycle. Guys love them, and I get it. If I could find one in the right wheelhouse money-wise, I'd go pick one up. I've shopped. It's not easy to find them. That's why I have a CRF 250L. But if you shop, you find it, you got enough money, any of these, you will win. They're fantastic motorcycles, and you can get out and you can do everything on them. And the other thing is aftermarket parts galore. You can get tons of aftermarket parts for these motorcycles, and it's not that much. And most of the time, if you pick them up used, guys loved them so much before they let them go, they usually leave most all the parts on there, which is fantastic. That means you don't have to go spend a whole lot of money. So if you're thinking about getting into some dual sport and you don't want to break the bank, but yet you just want to kind of zip around town but hit some of your local trails, think of these bikes that I just talked about. The Yamaha TW200, the CRF 250L from Honda, the XT250 from Yamaha, the KLX 250S from Kawasaki, the DR200 from Suzuki, and probably the king of them all, the WR250R from Yamaha. All these bikes are fantastic, tons of aftermarket parts, and you can make them look and be whatever you want them to be. You can adventurize every one of them. So today, like I said, thank you so much for stopping in. These are 6 of my bikes that I think are awesome, and I just think you win on any of these motorcycles that you pick up. They're all dual sports, and they're perfect and get great fuel mileage, and they're super fun to ride. I promise you. You get any one of these, they'll put a smile on your face. Like I said, if you catch us on YouTube, youtube.com/690ADV, you can hit me up with anything, joe@690ADV.com. Don't forget, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and on all of our podcasts, remember, they're on all of the platforms, IHeart Radio, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, whatever. We're on those, and then we syndicate everything to our YouTube channel. Don't forget our YouTube channel. We have over 170 plus videos. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great Sunday, and hopefully this will help somebody out. And don't forget, get in. Go sign up, 690adv.com, and so you can get in our giveaway on July 27th. We appreciate you. You guys have a fantastic Sunday. 690 out.